I am Melissa Johnson with Pinal Partnership. We're a membership organization in Pinal County, and I also chair the PR and Communications Committee. And I jumped in to help with the committee right when Amanda and the group started planning this. So it's been great timing and really thrown me right in. So I'm really excited to lead this panel discussion. We have Meg Zemlicka, who is now with NAI Horizon, and she's going to talk to us about LinkedIn. And then we have Terry Medexa with Downtown Flagstaff, and she's going to talk about Instagram. And she's going to have to hop off a little early, so if you have questions for her, make sure you don't wait to ask them. And then Jessica Bautista and Elizabeth Rowe with the Town of Gilbert, who are going to talk about video content. And you will definitely want to have your phone ready to take pictures of the screen of all the presentations, but especially theirs, because they have some good stuff in there for us to take into the future with us. So I am going to go ahead and kick off with Meg. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself, drop them in the chat box, whatever you want to do.
Okay, let's see. I've never done this before. Okay. So Melissa, I have control over my slides, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Meg Zemlicka. I'm currently the marketing manager for NAI Horizon, formerly the director of marketing and member services with AAED. Whoops. Okay, so today, just to give you a little bit of context about what I'm going to go over regarding LinkedIn. In the spring of 2019, AAED hired Carrie, the new executive director. The early COVID days were upon us, and AAED's social media had been kind of inconsistent and not really streamlined messaging. So we launched an Economic Development Week campaign to breathe some life into our social media presence and reflect the changes that were going on internally. So that campaign was very successful. We won a gold award from the IEDC, and our social media following had grown significantly. So I'm going to cover what my takeaways were from that process and that experience. So we're going to go over basics, how to conduct a profile audit, level 1 analytics, making connections, and then content. So why would we use LinkedIn versus other social media? Primarily for networking, business and industry insights, thought leadership, and access to resources. So you'll be able to keep track of what's trending, join groups, and become a thought leader within your industry. First and foremost, LinkedIn no-nos. I would like to think of LinkedIn as the classy sister of social media. So you don't want to be posting any politics or really personal information or any sensitive subject matter. Recently, LinkedIn has become very user policed, and people will let you know if what you're posting is inappropriate. So you don't want that to happen to you. So make sure that you keep everything tasteful on LinkedIn. And stay on brand. So while you don't want to overshare personal information on LinkedIn, it is okay to let people get to know you or the people behind the brand. It's very important. Humans are interested in humans, so don't feel like you have to hide behind your business. But of course, keep it tasteful. Okay, so conducting a profile audit. What I'm talking about here is profile completeness, responsiveness and engagement, and how to stay up to date. Why does having a complete profile matter? This will allow you to show up on Google, LinkedIn, and industry searches. It shows that you're active, that you're still in business, and this is your online elevator pitch. Put yourself in the shoes of someone you just met at a networking event and view your profile from their perspective. How complete is it? Where are the gaps? In your description, you want to make sure that you're using hashtags and keywords. Google gives you about 150 characters in your Google search preview. So you want to make sure that you use those 150 characters wisely. So start with a punch, and that way that will show up on the Google search. You also want to make sure that your contact information and your website link is accurate and up to date, that you have an on-brand profile photo and banner photo, and that your current employees are up to date. That is super important because according to LinkedIn, for companies who are active on LinkedIn, 30% of their engagement comes from their own employees. They're 14 times more likely to share their employer's content on the platform compared to other types of content. So that's huge. That means that your employees can do a lot of the work for you. They will post and repost and tag you and reshare, and that is going to generate a lot of activity on your LinkedIn. Responsiveness and engagement. So staying engaged on LinkedIn keeps you and your business relevant. So you need to ask yourself the tough questions about how responsive have we been to comments, tags, likes, and posts? How engaged have we been with our employees? And how often have we been involved in groups related to our industry? If you have not been doing those things, that is an easy place to get started and start to build your presence. So you also want to stay up to date, keeping your profile up to date relating to your business, industry related topics, contact information, because outdated information speaks very loudly about your business. You don't want people to be wondering if you're even still in business. And that is exactly what will happen if content is out of date. Trending topics and hashtags are continuously changing, so your profile needs to reflect that fluidity. Set a reminder for a quick monthly check-in with your profile. I did this several times while with AAD, and I would look at our profile from the perspective of a stranger and make sure that our messaging was still aligning with our mission, vision, and goals. And then also making sure that you are scheduling content out on a platform like Hootsuite or Sprout Social, where you can schedule months in advance so that even if you're not constantly engaging on LinkedIn, you will still be posting. Okay, level 1 analytics. This is something that I made up because analytics are extremely intimidating. I was so intimidated at first. And so if you don't know anything about analytics, you can hop on my level 1 analytics plan. So this is just taking a snapshot of your current situation. Honestly, for me, it was as simple as recording our current followers, likes, and impressions into an Excel spreadsheet so that I could keep track of everything week to week, month to month, especially because we were seeing huge leaps week to week, honestly, day to day. So it gave me a real current look at what was going on with our LinkedIn. And know where you want to go. LinkedIn provides a lot of information about your profile, your industry, your visitors, activity. I mean, down to things that you're like, well, that's just creepy, but it's very useful information. So for an example, 72% of our followers were in the greater Phoenix area, closely followed by Tucson. So what that meant for our strategy, especially during Economic Development Week, was, okay, let's push rural and tribal content because clearly that's where we're lacking followers and visitors. So that can really help you focus your energy in places that you're lacking. And set realistic goals for your engagement, followers, likes, and set expectations for your own responsiveness. If you're never responsive, people will notice. You don't have to always be responsive, but it is important to keep up. And then pick your metrics. Decide what you want to focus on. I started with three metrics to start, and then I made a more broad outline of my goals and what we needed for AAD social media. Making connections. Do not be afraid to connect personally or with your business profile. So I think it's important that you immediately invite new connections to follow your business, business profile, because it's top of mind and they will accept that invitation more times than not immediately. And you want to join groups that your target audiences are involved with. That's how you're going to stay up to date. You'll be able to engage with LinkedIn users on a national and global scale. So you'll always be on top of things, and that will help you generate content. So engaging content. I guess the most common question is, where am I going to get this content? And to start, we set up Google Alerts. And Google Alerts are super easy because they will siphon content into your inbox based on the filters and search criteria that you enter. So you're always going to be getting probably too many articles to post, but it's an easy way to generate that content. Encouraging employee engagement is super important. People love to engage with their employer. So posting about your employees, about their wins is going to be very important. Those topics will be reshared more times than not. Post what matters. It is important to post often, but it is more important to post on brand. So just make sure that you're not posting to post. Make sure that they're really worthwhile and that they reflect your mission, vision, and goals. Tagging people will help in reposting of your content. So you want to tag as many people and put as many hashtags as you can in that post, because people will reshare, especially employees. And find reasons to celebrate. People love positivity, and especially when things have been hard business-wise in the last year. Celebrate every win you can, every positive thing you can. Absolutely share on LinkedIn. And timing is everything. According to Sprout Social, the most engaging LinkedIn posts are published on Wednesdays between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and noon, Thursdays at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and Friday at 9 a.m. So think about when you're most active on LinkedIn, probably not Friday at 3 p.m. when you're trying to get out of the office or from your home office. So you want to really pay attention to when you're posting and when those posts people will engage with them. That will also be on your analytics, but again, don't feel too inundated with that to start. Okay, so I hope that helps. And I would love to connect. And if everybody can put their LinkedIn URL in the chat, then we can all get connected and invite to follow your business pages.
Thanks, Meg. That was great. Lots of good information. I definitely find myself spending more time on LinkedIn than anything else, just because I like the quality of the posts and actually learning from the posts and not seeing all the nonsense on the other social media channels. We can open it up for discussion if anybody has any questions, or we can just jump into the next presentation and go from there.
Question. So Meg, you talked about like the content and staying on brand and everything like that. How does what you post on LinkedIn differ from what you would post on like Instagram or Twitter? Like, are there instances where you can use like your Hootsuite account and post the same thing, or should it always be different for different audiences?
There definitely are situations where you can use the same content for your Facebook followers that you would on LinkedIn. I would say that Instagram is going to be more about the people behind the brand. So that's where people get more personal, and that's where it's okay to be more personal. But sticking to on-brand professional content on LinkedIn is the way to go. Facebook is like the middle ground where kind of anything goes at this point.
Yes. All right, so now I'm going to throw it to Terry. Let's see, with Downtown Flagstaff. All right, should have control now.
see. Um, so mine is not, I just, music. Can you?
Is it me freezing up or is it you, Terry?
I'm not sure. Can you?
You're kind of cutting in and out. You might get a little bit better of a connection if you stop your video since it's doing the screen share.
Yeah, my video is not working. Can you just advance for me?
Of course.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Terry Medexa, and I'm the Executive Director for the Flagstaff Downtown Business Alliance. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Instagram and some of the successful strategies that we've employed to see our Instagram grow. And what I'll try to do is highlight some of the differences between Instagram and LinkedIn and some of the other social media outlets, just because where we have found success is looking at the different audiences and actually posting slightly different content. It's a little more work, but it has resulted in a more active audience for us. So a little bit about downtown Flagstaff. For those of you who are not aware, Flagstaff is not like the rest of the valley, and we really focus on that. We have 70-degree days. Like today, I'm in a sweater. It's a little chilly. So we really try to focus on Flagstaff being different than the desert. So we have 70s, we have mountains, we have the pines, we have a historic downtown. So it's a little unique, and our audience loves to see that. And then the Downtown Business Alliance, we are an improvement district. We are a nonprofit, and most of our businesses are locally owned businesses. So we don't have corporations, we don't have headquarters, we don't have chains. And again, that is something that we really highlight and celebrate, especially on Instagram. Next slide, Melissa. So for our small downtown, we have about 20 blocks that we focus on, and Flagstaff has about 75,000 residents. We have 25,000 followers. So we're competing with some of the larger cities across the country with our following. But for us, it was really important to figure out what works versus the pressure of what we're expected to promote. So we know in Flagstaff that our followers love dogs and beer. I mean, it's just sort of crazy. Anytime we post a picture of dogs and beer and maybe even coffee, we see over 1,000 likes. And that's the same with weather. If it's raining or snowing, or we have a beautiful blue sky, we post that and people love it. The same with our iconic elements like the historic Hotel Monte Vista. We have a lot of signs. We have the train that comes through downtown. People love that. But the pretty pictures are different than the message that I think we need to convey, that downtown is walkable. we have these locally owned businesses, and our businesses want exposure to this audience of 25,000 people. So what we find is when we post these pretty pictures, we'll get, 50 comments and 1,500 likes. And when we post about a business, we might get 100 likes. So we're constantly having to make sure that our content is reflective of downtown. It's diverse, so it's not always about dogs and beer, or it's not always about a beautiful blue sky, but we have to make sure that we're always sprinkling in what makes our downtown special. So we highlight our businesses, we highlight events, we highlight what our businesses are doing. Even if those likes drop a little, it is value added for the job we do when we talk to our stakeholders. Next slide, Melissa. You can go again. So some of the strategies, like what Meg said, we find the right time to post. And with Instagram, for us, we have found that Facebook is primarily an older audience. And I don't know about the rest of the country. I see that Facebook isn't used a lot by people, or, within the past couple of years, people are getting off of Facebook. In Flagstaff, our community is on Facebook. So we need to make sure our Facebook is relevant. But our audience is a little older. They're, 40s, 50s, 60s. There's no sort of younger audience that's on Facebook. Instagram is a slightly younger audience. And with Instagram, they want to see the pictures. So we, use color. We, like you saw in the slide before, we post to capture people's attention. So the photo has to be attractive. And then the time that we post is key. So for us, we found by looking at our analytics that 6 p.m. is when we have the most reach. And it's surprising to me. I'm not sure why 6 p.m. on a Monday is when we get most people, or 6 p.m. on a Thursday, but we do. So that is when we post. That's when we post, is around 6 p.m. And then for us, it's sort of across the board at 6. Next slide, Melissa. And then understanding your audience. For us, like I said, Instagram is a little younger. We see people in their 20s and 30s and 40s that are primarily on Instagram. We know that people are following us from other communities. It's not as local of an audience as Facebook is, or even as LinkedIn might be, following us on LinkedIn as an industry. Instagram, we have people following us just for the photos. They like the pretty pictures, they like the vistas, or they might have lived in Flagstaff and then they've moved out, or they have an interest in moving here. So they're not always here. So we know that. So we'll sprinkle in pretty pictures. We'll see our likes go up. And then we know what our high performing posts are. Like you can see snow, rain, pictures of the train. They like looking at downtown because it looks different than the desert. So we know that, and we will sprinkle that in just to keep our audience engaged. Next slide, Melissa. We converted recently to a business account. And when you do that, you have access to insights. So we can always take a look at our analytics. We can see new users. We can see who's accessing our site, who's engaging with us. And there's a different set of analytics if you post on stories and you use the swipe up feature. You can see who is clicking through And so all those analytics are available to you. And like Meg said, they're critical, not just in tracking for our use, but in reporting to our board and reporting to our stakeholders, increased engagement. Next slide. We use calls to action. So we have a highly engaged audience. We will ask people, like this photo, comment below, tell us why, tag and share. We'll post polls and quizzes. When we're on Facebook, we don't see as much engagement. So we normally just post information to share with people. We know they're not going to engage with us. On Instagram, it's just the opposite. People want to engage. So we use that to our advantage, and we'll just ask questions every time. Tell us your favorite restaurant. Or if it's Saturday and it's sunny and we're posting about a patio, we'll say, tell us your favorite patio to hang out, and we'll get 50 comments. So we really like to banter and engage with our audience. And these are some examples of the text we use to get that engagement. Next slide. The other thing that we've been doing is partnering with our businesses to host giveaways. And this is really important because, again, like when we post about businesses, we don't see a lot of engagement usually. But our businesses or our partner organizations want access to this 25,000 person audience. So giveaways have been a great way for us to do that. So what we'll do is we'll partner with a business. Perhaps it's a restaurant in downtown. We'll say it's giveaway time. We'll say that they need to follow both our page and the partner's page. They need to like the post, and they need to tag a friend that they want to share the prize with. And then we actually do a drawing. We might keep it open for 2 or 3 days, and we'll do a drawing. And it might be for $25, or maybe it's a gift basket from the business. It's not a lot that we're asking the business to give away, but what we end up getting out of it are hundreds of new followers, because we're sharing our audience with our partner and they're sharing their audience with us. And so we'll do this, maybe it's once a month, and we'll see our audience grow. And people love participating because they like giveaways. They love gift baskets. They love gift certificates. And they will tag friends, and then those friends will end up liking both pages. So this has been a great strategy for us. And we will do this on static posts. And we'll also do this on our story. So we can do a giveaway and partner that or tie that in with an Instagram takeover. So we will actually give a business, like we just did this last week with our Orpheum Theater. They're getting back to live music. We gave them access to our Instagram story. They did a takeover for a day where they posted throughout the day about their live music. And then at the end, they had some steps to take by liking both pages. And then we did a giveaway. So both of these kinds of activities, whether it's a static post or an Instagram takeover, generates a lot of new likes for both businesses.
Terry, this is Chad. Can I ask a question about your takeover?
Sure.
So I've seen associations do that before, where at least the Landscape Architect Association would let you take over the association's account and just post all these cool projects you have done. I think it's a really neat idea, but where it seems like when I try to implement it at my company, or maybe with even AAD, where there's like a little bit of a hang up, is like the fear of giving access to someone that could then post kind of crazy stuff, right? And so how did you control
Right.
that?
So we don't give away our login information. We actually go to our partner and we will log them in on their device. So we're not sharing our login or our password. We're doing it for them. And then we have guidelines that they need to follow. And we're very clear up front. We make sure they understand. And then throughout the day, we're monitoring it. So and this has happened, we had a business that was not as savvy with their social media, and it sort of was flat. And so we stepped in, we took down their post, and then we went to that business and helped them with their posts. So we're monitoring it throughout the day. We can take down information if it's necessary. We share our guidelines and we log them in and log them out. So we're not giving away any of our credentials. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. So for us, and this is just an example of what I think is sort of a crazy post, engaging, much like Meg said, is key. Different than LinkedIn though, is the tone. And this is different than Facebook as well. On Instagram, our tone is playful and engaging. On Facebook, it's a little more like we're just trying to share information. On Instagram, we get a little playful. We seek banter. So when people do comment, we're writing back. We ask questions like you've seen. And this is a good example where all we did was post a picture of coffee and we asked if people prefer hot or cold. And we got over 1,500 likes and almost 50 comments. It's sort of crazy that a post about coffee would do that, but our audience likes to have fun and we have fun back with them. So always liking their comments and responding to them is key to continue to have that engaging audience. Next slide. And then I think this will go into the next presentation. For us, we're beginning to use video more. We're using video, which I'll show you in a second. Instagram Reels, Boomerang, which are just short snippets. And then we're getting into TikTok because we have found Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, these are all different audiences. And the one we're missing is sort of youth. We're missing the teenager and the 20-year-old, and they are spenders. They all have money. So TikTok is coming for us. We've just brought on board a college intern who is going to help us do that. It would not be effective to have me doing anything on TikTok, but to have a young person who's on it helping us. So that's sort of the direction we're going, and then posting those TikTok videos to Instagram. So I just thought I'd show a quick video just to give you an idea of what kinds of things we post.
Thank you, Flagstaff.
Thank you, Flagstaff. Thank you, Flagstaff.
Thank you, Flagstaff, for shopping local.
Thank you, Flagstaff, for supporting downtown.
Thank you, Flagstaff. We love you.
On behalf of the Orpheum Theater, we want to thank Flagstaff for all of their support of live music venues during COVID. Thank you so much. Thank you, Flagstaff, for supporting local. We love you. Thank you, Flagstaff. Thank you, Flagstaff.
Thank you, Flagstaff. We couldn't do this without you. Please continue to shop and dine locally, and we hope to see you soon.
So that video was shot on an iPhone and was pieced together by our director of marketing in the office. So she just used a standard computer program, pieced it together and took it on her iPhone. And so it was easy, it was free, it promoted our businesses, it was sentimental. Like Meg said, it was about people. And our community loved feeling connected to downtown and our businesses. And so those kinds of videos work really well for us, is sort of showing the story behind the business or the story behind the person, or the puppy or the cup of coffee, you know, and how it's made. Really easy to do, and there's zero cost. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back to Melissa. Like she said, I have to hop off, but I put my contact information in the chat. Please call or email with any questions. I will be around and I will answer.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome. That video is so heartwarming, and I frequent Flagstaff, so it was awesome to see all these places that I love walking around, shopping, and interacting with. We had some comments. People are wondering where they can find a link to the video.
I can perhaps send it out, Melissa, to you to get out to the group.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be the easiest thing to do. I'm happy to share it.
Okay, yeah, if you send it to me, I can post it in the Whova, one of the discussion boards if it's after this. So thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
All right, we are going to have Jessica and Elizabeth with the town of Gilbert now. Let me get theirs up. And who, I can't remember which one of you wanted control, if it was Jessica.
We had that
or...
whole mute unmute incident at the run through, but you can give me control.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes.
All right, there you
All right. Make sure. Do I have the control? Okay, I think I have the control. Jess.
We're all good.
Proceed.
All right, I'll kick us off. So I'm Jessica Bautista.
And I'm Elizabeth Rowe.
And we are both digital journalists for Gilbert, Arizona. So we create all the video content for the city of Gilbert. This includes anything from 30-second social media videos to 20-minute documentary style videos. And we have some videos to share. So if you could all mute your microphones, that will help everyone hear. And the first is an intro video that we made before the pandemic, showing off just some of what we do for Gilbert.
Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Liz.
And we work for Gilbert, Arizona, making all of the video content they stream across 25+ social media channels and public access.
With our backgrounds in broadcast journalism and filmmaking, we're the perfect pair to show you how to create amazing content for your organization.
Everything from creating quality video on nothing but an iPhone to we'll show you how to catch all the action with GoPros and cinema cameras. We can also teach you tips and tricks to make sure people are comfortable in front of the camera. People love it when we shoot around the office. Hey guys. Guys.
We can teach you how to use advanced camera accessories like gimbals.
And a drone.
That's us. So in our presentation this morning, we are going to discuss video creation basics to help you boost impressions on social media.
So why video? Videos drive website traffic. It's predicted that by next year, 82% of the global internet traffic will come from video. This makes video a must-have for your marketing toolkit. Video content is also very versatile and can be used to drive engagement on any platform.
So what we did is we broke it down to the 3 most popular types of video that we create for Gilbert. And they are the classic feature video, the informational animation video, and then we have reels, stories, and brief videos for social media. So in the next few slides, we'll take a look at each of these types of videos to further explain what they are and how they can be beneficial for your channels. And then over here on the side, we have a fun stat. So according to Social Media Week surveys, viewers retain 95% of messages that they receive through video. So this statistic personally resonates with me because I'm a very visual learner. So for example, if I'm making like a new recipe, I love it when the person has a video to go along with each of the steps. And visual learning is likely a reason that YouTube tutorials are so widely popular on that platform as well.
So a classic feature video is probably what you think of first when you hear the words video content. These kinds of videos are usually 1 to 3 minutes long, featuring a person or a business or a product or an issue. And we love using them to tie a narrative story to a larger event like Economic Development Week or National Travel and Tourism Week. Using video content to capitalize on trending hashtags and cross-promotional initiatives can help you expand your reach and help tell your story to a larger audience. So here's a classic feature we produced to highlight manufacturing in Gilbert for Manufacturing Month.
We make things. Big things. Small things. Things that help make our planet better. And some that are out of this world. In Gilbert, Arizona, we proudly celebrate manufacturing in all forms. With over 150 manufacturers, over 3,000 jobs, and a 9.7% manufacturing job growth since 2015. Here's to creating the next chapter of American production and innovation.
Thank you, Self, in that voiceover. Okay, so next is the informational animation. An informational animation video are some of my favorite to create for helping to explain difficult concepts. So especially those that are hard to understand or not easily visualized with live action or real life footage. So who remembers Schoolhouse Rock? Yes, I'm sure a lot of you. The cartoon videos that we used to watch in school that explain topics like how a bill becomes a law and how conjunctions work. Just like a quick aside, I was watching Jeopardy the other day, and to get the answer right, I quickly sang the Conjunction Junction song to myself and got the answer right. So it just proves, I probably haven't seen that since like 5th grade, how those really stick with you. But there are many different types of programs that you can use to assist in creating this type of video. We use a program called Powtoon, P-O-W-T-O-O-N, to make our informational animated videos. And the program is really simple to use. I'm telling you, people are always so impressed. They think we're these animators. We're like, no, we don't actually know how to animate. But if you know how to use it creatively, they can be extremely effective. So it's really as simple as dragging and dropping animations that they've created, and then you have the ability to get creative with them. The monthly subscription is super affordable, and they provide tutorials on how to use all of their features. So next, I'll show an example of our animated video. And this is one on what is economic development.
What is economic development? The International Economic Development Council defines the term as a program, group of policies, or activity that seeks to improve the economic well-being and quality of life for a community by creating and/or retaining jobs that facilitate growth and provide a stable tax base. As the first accredited economic development organization in Arizona, the Gilbert Office of Economic Development embodies the town's vision to be best in class in all lines of service. The Office of Economic Development is strongly committed to the principles of business collaboration, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Our efforts are focused on 4 key areas. We identify the strengths in our community and broadcast them across the world to attract growing and innovative businesses while cultivating the right ones here at home. We invest in the spaces where we work, live, and play. We promote our world-class community amenities to local, regional, national, and international visitors. Success in these areas support the creation of new jobs for our residents, increase tax revenue that is used to fund streets, parks, and public safety, and increases quality of life by attracting entertainment and dining amenities. From arts and entertainment to technology and industry, we are a community that has become a destination of choice for companies across a variety of industries. Join us as we ask companies from around the globe, what more could you want?
Right? What more could you want?
All right, this category of videos is the one I find to be most fun right now. Reels, stories, and short social videos. You see a lot of these kinds of videos in user-generated content, and one thing that sets them apart is that most are shot vertically, capitalizing on your cell phone's real estate, taking up the whole screen, and they're viewed primarily on mobile. These are shorter than a feature, 30 seconds or less, and they're often made on the fly with little to no production. And they're a great way to showcase authenticity and capitalize on trends, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Here's one we did for National Coffee Day to showcase several coffee shops around Gilbert, while also joining on a TikTok trend.
Feel free to snap along. Short and sweet. People loved it. Like Terry said, people love coffee. So how can you create engaging videos for social media? It's as easy as 3 steps. You shoot, edit, and post. To shoot, you can film on anything from professional cinema cameras to DSLRs to something as simple as a smartphone. And then to edit, there are amazing simplified editing programs that you can use to assemble videos that don't require a film degree to understand how to use them. We will go over our favorite, which is Adobe Rush, and how to post your video to receive all of that engagement as well. Of course, depending on the length and format of your content, you will want to curate your videos based on where they'll end up. So you might post a slightly different version of the same video on Instagram. And for example, then you would change the video up maybe a little bit to fit your audience on Facebook. So to get you started shooting, all you need is a smartphone. We always use the latest iPhone. So iPhone is constantly, Apple is constantly updating their video technology. And oh no, it's going live by itself. Okay, so smartphone, if you want to take a picture of the slide, I know Melissa said she wanted one. So latest technology, so the newest iPhone, we always update. And then on Amazon, you can grab a Rode Smart Lav mic, which plugs right into your phone with the little, you can kind of see it on the slide, but the little adapter, it'll go right into the headphone jack. You can also get an extender cable. So we've even used those for good audio on live videos that we've done for social media. And then think about investing in a gimbal. This, for example, is the DJI Ohm 4. And what that's going to do is really take those shots that you would get on a smartphone and elevate them. So you can get those really cinematic, very smooth panning shots. You can follow someone using it and the shot will stay very smooth. And it just kind of elevates the entire look of the video. So then next would be editing. So editing can be as simple as connecting clips together using your smartphone. Our editing platform that we would recommend for starter would be Adobe Rush. It only costs $10 a month, so it's super affordable, and it works on your mobile and desktop to edit videos. So wherever you are from your phone or your computer, you can shoot, edit, and share high quality videos. The great thing about Rush that I don't think that you would get in some of like the free video editing apps, or you can really customize the videos. So you can add transitions, you can add titles, like in the coffee video, you know, if you wanted to add like each of the names of the coffee shops in there. You can do change the color, give it a custom color look. Adjust speed, audio, you can add music, and everything is right there in the app. And then another really great thing about Adobe Rush is it's really made for people posting to social. So you can auto adjust the video's aspect ratio depending on platform. So if you want to take this video and do it to Facebook, okay, boom, it'll give you that right video format for that. Instagram, same, and so forth. So it makes it really seamless.
And of course, then you have to post it to the platform. So when posting video, it's important to make sure it's going to show its best on that given platform for its users. So for us, that means making a few tweaks to each channel's version of the final video. For example, we overlay captions on videos for IGTV because that platform doesn't allow users to upload a closed caption file. And anyone who uses their phone on silent will need to read any of the dialogue or voiceover. We also constantly monitor what's trending, changes on the platforms, and what's working or not working for our audience. Even though LinkedIn allows us to upload those caption files with our videos, we recently changed our practice to post videos with the captions overlaid, because when we watched it, the files were causing the text to cover most of the video, and it didn't look best for the user experience. So in 2019, video ads, and you can change the slide here. Yep. Video ads were the #1 way consumers discovered new brands. That's a pretty powerful tool. Here in Gilbert, we've seen a lot of success with Instagram Reels in terms of discovery. That coffee reel earned more than 20,000 impressions. Our tourism classic feature earned more than 2,000 impressions just on LinkedIn. And our Women's History Month video with animated elements earned 5,000 impressions on Facebook. All of this is organic with no budget spent on boosts or ads for these posts.
So we hope that you guys have learned a little bit about creating engaging social videos for social media and beyond. These are all Gilbert's social media channels, so please feel free to connect with Gilbert on there. And then again, I'm Elizabeth Rowe, and that's Jessica Bautista, and we are both also on LinkedIn, so feel free to connect with us as well and follow up with any questions.
Yep, and I put my profile in the chat as well. I do see a couple questions that came through in the chat. As far as free video editing platforms that I recommend, again, Adobe Rush is what we recommend, and it's only $10 a month, but there are some ways to do the video editing, for example, Reels, in the app itself. So again, that's right there in Instagram, and it's a free resource, and you just take the clips or take clips that are already on your phone and splice them together, and you can clip them and time them out as well right there in the app.
And then I see, on average, how long do these videos take to make? That depends. So if we are making the coffee reel, for example, that was just Jess having a lovely day getting coffee all over town. So it was just, a couple hours that morning, put it together within, I would guess, like 15, 20
I put it all on my phone, yeah. That
really
was an easy
fast.
one. The longest part was driving to get all the coffee.
Exactly. Versus something like, the manufacturing month video. Well, we have to go to all of those places potentially. And lucky for us, we have a really great archive of video footage that we have shot over the years. So we can pull, and highly recommend just keeping like a really organized archive of all your footage and all your material. So you can, when a date comes up, coffee date, oh, well, we already have all these great shots of coffee shops, and we can put this together really fast or capitalize on a trend that's happening. But it really just depends. So it can be as simple as, that morning, putting something together, or it could be something that takes a little more thought and takes, a couple of weeks to put together.
And my recommendation for people who may not have the resources or the dedicated marketers to put together this content is to, employ your ambassadors and your people on the ground or out in the field. For example, we, the town of Gilbert has hundreds of employees, and, we can solicit footage from them if, we have special events crews that are going there. Hey, can you take a couple photos or video clips and send it my way so I can put it together in a short reel or an Insta story. So just using your resources, and also those business partners, like Liz said, we're lucky enough to have, these great relationships with our local businesses who some of whom have footage professionally shot, and they make that available to us as well. So just looking at those different resources that you can get content from.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised who you find within the organizations who are really pumped to do video or take photos. We have someone we found who's like a gem she works in tax compliance. No, you wouldn't think, right? You would never think, but you can see if you go on Gilbert's Instagram and look at one of our reels from February. We did a Groundhog Day reel, kind of because we've all been living in Groundhog's Day. And that's her starring in it. And we remotely talked her through, okay, just, setting up the shots. So you'd be really surprised at what people can come up with a little bit of guidance and, best practices. And then I see, Jess, you answered, we use powtoon.com for the animations. The first video you shared, offering content creation services for businesses.
We don't offer content creation from our organization for anyone but the town of Gilbert. Obviously, we're a public organization, but we have highlighted our business partners in some of our content for platforms like our tourism platform, Discover Gilbert, or our economic development platforms as well, and kind of work together as a partnership.
Yep. Cool. Does anyone have any live questions that they want to ask? We have a couple minutes left.
I do. This is how do you how much time do you spend trying to keep track of what is trendy and what will get people's attention?
Sometimes it's just as simple as seeing something that day and being okay, go, and figure it out really quick. And we something that comes to mind, and just because I think I'm sad because the Suns lost last night, but last year when everyone was stuck at home, we saw something on ESPN that, had got super popular where, this dad was dunking shots just all over his house of crumpled up paper and things. So we're oh, let's do a dunk contest with our PD and fire. And so they set it up, and we ended up getting, retweeted by the Phoenix Suns. They came out, brought the crews bunch of Sun swag. And so it really just depends on looking out for what's happening. TikTok, for example, is a good place where we're not on TikTok, but they always have those videos that are very consistent, where everyone's doing the snap video or everyone's doing this dance video that you can kind of capitalize on as well.
We also use the calendar as a department that has all of the upcoming, hashtag holidays and months and things like that. So we're always kind of looking for those opportunities where we would fit in and we'd be able to capitalize on something that's coming up. So, the Snap Challenge was going on, Coffee Day was coming up, those two things put together. So looking at those opportunities as well.
Yeah, there's a hashtag holiday for pretty much everything that exists on Earth.
Yes.
So I think we use the Sprout Social hashtag calendar. And yeah, just looking at that and knowing, like Jess said, what's coming up, and maybe that's something we already have footage for or something we decide we want to go out and shoot.
All right, well, we do need to go ahead and wrap up. I wanted to take a quick group picture of everybody that I'll share on my LinkedIn page, and I challenge you all to save it to your device, reshare it, use hashtag AAEDAZ, and put a piece of content that you learned from this discussion and just see how it helps you grow. I guarantee you'll get some new connections out of it. So, okay, everybody smile. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Oh, wait, let me do it again. Nancy just turned on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you guys. And thank you for all of you for presenting and joining. And it was a great discussion.